Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team banned. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team back. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team banned. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team banned. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team banned. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team banned. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team back. Venom that. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team back. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team back. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team back. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
that's the only way you're going to die in that lane, because you can heal up and do your thing. So coming into this draft, though, Oracle gets picked up first, which I think is like, I wasn't really seeing any of that in the Americas. And I was kind of surprised. It felt like the supports were very consistent. Not much was changing between them, and we weren't really seeing much of Oracle, which is a surprise, because I think Oracle is very good, you know, in the laning phase and really throughout the game. I think in the lane he feels very strong. And yeah, of course, FlyToMoon now going to the general Batrider, and I'm actually surprised that that hero makes it through the first phase, because that has been a first phase ban for a lot of teams.
Yeah, so the way that FlyToMoon work, that you know they're going to be wanting to play aggressive and on the front foot, right? That's just what they do.
Yep.
And I think them picking up this Oracle, it basically gives them a way to play aggressive and know that they always have somebody that can back them for their aggressive moves across the map, right? And I was going to say, I also think this Batrider was going to be a really big hero this series. So the fact that the Oracle gets picked up so early, you know, takes it out for 5 minutes straight away. And obviously General loves to play it. I think Clock could have been okay if they really wanted to pick Clock there as well. And now they have 3 bans to protect their Batrider in lane, which is going to be really cool for them. Like they can ban out whatever they want that Batrider doesn't want to lane against. So, you know, you're thinking of things like the PL, the Voids, the Jugs, even the Life Stealer potentially as well, is something that a lot of teams have been starting to pick more recently.
I haven't really enjoyed the Life Stealer too much. I think it like lost almost every single game we were watching it in the Americas. But you know, maybe we get rid of like PL Legion with this Void. I have no idea if you know, we're seeing Legion as much in this region. I know Legion was very popular in the Americas, even mid. We were seeing mid Legion, off lane Legion, or you know, mid Legion actually did so well. I was shocked.
Yeah, that shocked me as well, that there was so much Legion. I don't think that hero's bad, but were there a lot of Queen of Pains being picked or something? And that was why Legion was being picked? No, it's just
it was rare actually to see Queen of Pain. Yeah, it was also just like matchups. Like you'd see like a bat. I was surprised. There was a lot of counters to bat. You'd see bat get picked, and all of a sudden like the Legion would be there. But these teams would still commit to throwing the bat in a core position, because like at least when we were doing the last OGA Dota pit with China, if we saw that ever, the Batrider would jump down to 5. And they would just commit to having a Batrider in the 5 position.
I mean, we could say they could put Batrider mid this game as well if they really wanted to. I love that DP ban. I was going to say this Oracle pick opens up so much for what FlyToMoon like to play as well. Iceberg loves playing DP. It's one of his best heroes. So I'm glad to see them take that one out. I will say as well, this Batrider in lane against the Ench is like, it's really good when you get levels on the Batrider, but the first few waves when you're like level 1 and 2 are still pretty difficult, because if you ever try to dive somebody, that enchant slow comes through and it's like a 50% slow, right? So you can't make the aggressive plays that you want to on the Batrider. So I want to see personally how FlyToMoon approach that off lane with their Batrider +1 when they're playing into the Ench. Like whether they try to play a little bit more like passively early on in the first few waves, and then when they get their levels, they try to make those moves.
Yeah, I think Enchantress has shown to be very strong, especially in the laning phase. Yeah, Nyx is a bit interesting. Maybe they're thinking about going Spectre on 5 men. But anything, I would probably ban the Viper, right?
Yeah, I think the Nyx is more like the Nyx is a hero that enables vision for the rest of FlyToMoon to make their plays on the map as well. But yeah, maybe that
could be a more targeted ban than anything.
Yeah.
For like Roger.
Yeah, I know Roger does like to play Nyx, but even so, I guess when you have this Batrider in lane as well, you can afford to be a little bit more greedy with your 4 if it's a Bat 3. And General Bat is so good.
Yeah,
he's insanely good at that hero.
Yeah, he's insanely good at that hero, and a lot of offlaners. Weaver is a good one to get rid of.
Weaver's good to get rid of because that Nyx pick would have also been really good against Weaver. So the fact that they've banned Nyx there suggests that, you know, 5 men might have possibly wanted to play that Weaver themselves. And I know it's something that Ace has been playing recently as well. Or 5 men have been playing just in general. I think somebody else played it as well.
Yeah. I haven't really gotten a lot of time to watch 5 men or 5 man. But, you know, I'm excited to see some of these players come out. And now, Earthshaker comes in. Earthshaker, another one of those 4s that I feel like we haven't seen much of. At least in the Americas, it wasn't really picked that much. I think the one time it got picked, it was picked with a Morphling, and it didn't win. But I guess we'll see it here. I mean, you've got a decent amount of control right Now for FlyToMoon, your team fight looks pretty good. You've got sustain, you have some save potential, and you've got pick-off potential, which I think is really good. FlyToMoon, they have pick-off potential, but I think they need definitely a couple more things that will help them in the lockdown terms. I'm surprised Winranger's actually getting this far.
Yeah.
There it is. There you go.
I don't know how much I like that though. I feel like doesn't Oracle Shaker Batrider do really well against Windranger?
I think so.
I mean, they can flex it still between 2 and 4, same as the Tiny.
Yeah.
Like I know because Misery's played at position 4 recently, and I think it's more likely to be mid Tiny for these guys with Chessie, and then they put the Entry 5 Windranger 4. I don't see it as an amazing Windranger game. I mean, the thing with that hero though is that it doesn't have to be an amazing Windranger game. If you land Shackles, like that hero is always going to be good.
Yeah.
It has such a crazy, I think it's like a 3.8 second stun at level 4, which can land on 2 heroes. It's like just ridiculous.
Did you see any of the Windrunner Morphling?
Yes, yeah, by SCA teams.
It's so gross. Let me tell you, Morphling Ags Windrunner is a gross combo to making, and I don't know if you'll get this American reference, but it makes Morphling Earthshaker the Kirkland brand combo, which is basically just the rip-off brand. Although Kirkland, being very good, is just not as good as name brand. It's still delicious.
I have no idea
what
you just said.
And there's the Morphling. So I feel like that Morphling all of a sudden becomes like a pick ban kind of thing. Like Morphling works with this lineup, but it also works with 5 men, so we got to take it.
Oh no, I don't think you. Like when you pick Shaker second phase, you always have to be looking at them potentially taking Morphling as well for themselves. Like it doesn't have to be because of the Windranger. I think just having more Shaker in itself is really strong.
So now my question here is, I've been seeing this at least a couple times in the Americas region. Do 5 men risk going into the Ancient Apparition, or just Oracle's already there, so why do it?
No, I don't think you
can. Ancient Apparition a couple times.
You need to get some like. They need some vessel buyer, right? It's the most important thing I think for them, because if they don't buy this, and it's not even a great vessel game because there's an Oracle on the team as well. Like I think this draft from FlyToMoon looks really solid. And okay, so they're gonna go Spectre. The Spectre's good because it allows them to get onto the backline and try and kill the Oracle first, which I like. They have really good burst potential at the moment between the Tiny and the Windranger and things. And their lanes look relatively solid, but if I ever see these two teams just run at each other at the moment in a team fight, I don't know how they deal with this Morphling. Like, they have to kill the Oracle first, and Batrider looks like it's going completely untouched.
Yeah.
Like, Spectre's an okay laner, and it should do well, scaling going into the late game. If you ever get to the point you get Skadi Basher, I think the matchup against Morphling is really good. But I think this Batrider looks like it's going to have a relatively free lane so far. As long as Shaker blocks the big camps, so that the Ench doesn't get the big creep next to the lane, the Spectre has to make the most of the first few waves, otherwise Batrider's just going to pop off.
Yeah, but you're also like, when Spectre gets Skadi Basher, it's like, oh, well, 35 minutes into the game, of course. Well, I guess we'll see what they can do. But this already feels, and Morphling, Batrider, Oracle, and Earthshaker, they should just pick somebody who's fast in the mid lane. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw like Void Spirit, somebody who can start moving level 6, who can really start going around the map. All of a sudden, you overwhelm the side of 5 men, 10 minutes into the game, and then you start taking towers and just overwhelming and playing this fast pace. Because 5 men, it's going to be a little while until both, I would say, the Spectre and the Tiny can kind of really do a lot. Like, Tiny can do a lot early on, but when he gets that Blink Dagger is really where he hits that big mark, and then how quickly are we going to see that? I
think Ember and SF are the two left in the pool for me for Iceberg that I really like. Probably Ember more so than SF, because I think, like you say, you want the mobility around the map.
Yeah.
He could potentially play Queen of Pain as well, I think is okay. But yeah, and they need a Jibe hero. Jibe, I don't know how you say it, but so they need an offlane. Maybe they need something that just goes in. I think with the Tiny, they need they just pick so hard actually, because I think something like Beastmaster would have been fine even against the Oracle, because they need some lane dominator. And you have to remember as well, FlyToMoon, they don't have to put the Morphling safe lane. They could put it mid if they really wanted as well. So they have so much flexibility going into their last pick.
Who do you, if theoretically they were to go to the Morphling mid, what would you want the safe lane? Oh, now Puck. So Puck gives you mobility. Puck gives you that lockdown, that silence. A lot of utility here from a Puck. I know you were saying Puck isn't that great, but I feel like we've been saying Puck's not that great, and Puck seems to dominate the game sometimes.
I mean, I will say the Puck's really good against Morph because it stops him from being able to waveform away from the coil. But they have Oracle that can break the coil with the ult, so the stun duration doesn't work. So 5men's fight at the moment is they need to kill the Oracle at the start of the fight at the same time as the Puck goes onto the Morphling. I like this Kunkka pick. This is really good.
And it's control, it's mobility, team fight, yeah. And it's a Spirit Vessel builder if he wants to go for it.
And I will say this, whenever the run buff goes off onto the FlyToMoon's team, how is 5men ever doing damage this game? I don't know how they kill anybody. Around this like 20 to 25 minute mark, if FlyToMoon just group up and go, may say like Morphling has, I don't know, like E-Blade Manta or something at 25 minutes. You just go. And this run buff comes down, 5men don't do any damage. So, okay. Yeah, I really like the Kunkka pick. I think I much prefer FlyToMoon's draft, and I think General playing Batrider as well is about as good as it's going to get for him.
Yeah, of course. It just feels like, what are you going to do against that? That's such a good, General here. I think that's General's signature hero. Like, what are you going to do?
I will also say as well that I think this Puck, although it's a good pick for what they want to do aggressively against the Morph, it's not a free Puck game because they have Shaker that can fissure him from Fog to get the instant initiation, and they have Batrider that can blink lasso him as well. So there's some games where you see Puck last pick and you're like, yeah, really good Puck game. Like, they don't have any ways of dealing with him, they have no control. But this game, like, they actually have ways of getting on top of him and trying to kill him quickly at the start of the fight.
So for me at least, I think FlyToMoon win this game, and I think they win it quick. I don't think that this is going to go that late. I don't really see it going that late. I'm not saying that to be rude to 5men. I look at this lineup from FlyToMoon, and it feels fast-paced. It feels like level 6 is going to come, and the 4 heroes that aren't Morphling, even Morphling can get involved, are going to fight. Like, you're gonna hit this mark at the 10 minutes and you're gonna see aggression come from FlyToMoon. And if they get that mid tower early, if they just take the safe and mid early enough, all of a sudden Spectre's game gets so difficult where you can't really hide in the jungle, you can't move back, and your farm becomes very difficult to grab. So at least for me, I know it's in my eyes, I'm gonna go with FlyToMoon. I don't know if it's the same for you.
Yeah, same. I think if 5men want to win this game, he has to have the most amazing game he's ever played. I think he has to go crazy this game and make so much happen on the Tiny. Yeah. And I think if Tiny even starts to fall behind at all, their game's going to be like insanely hard. Because the Tiny they have to be playing from ahead, I think, which is so difficult with their lineup. Like, Ench has to have a good time, Tiny has to have a good time, Misery needs to land every single shuckle shot. So no pressure there.
It's an off Puck, safe Spectre, mid Tiny, 4 Windrunner, 5 Enchanters. And look, you can just already see the aggression coming in. 2 stacks of sticky napalm, 3 stacks that chases on with the Fortune's End, and all of a sudden Chessie comes behind General. Let's see what they can get from this. They might be able to get the kill. Fortune's End should stop Ace. I think now Always Wanna Fly probably becomes the sacrificial on this First Blood.
She tried to body block, but it shouldn't make a difference.
Yeah. It ends up being Pyjamas who gets killing Always Wanna Fly First Blood there for 5men. You did a lot of damage on the Batrider, which I think is great.
I think that play works if you start building up the napalm stacks before you fight. But they used everything on the Radiant side while they were trying to build up the napalm stacks. So, yeah, they just don't have the damage, unfortunately.
So we'll see how these lanes kind of pan out. Is there... What lane are you really most curious about? Like, which are we going to see?
I think the mid lane is really important, because if the mid lane goes, like, one way or the other, really one-sided, I think the game's going to be so good for the team that does well in the mid lane. because of how, like, I think this Tiny has to be playing from ahead, like I was saying. But they do have first blood already. They got 3 bounty runes as well. So, yeah, good start for 5 men.
I was a little bit, you know, surprised to see more in off lane Puck, because I feel like we just don't see that anymore. And when we see Puck, it's mostly in the mid. Does Puck do well here, you think, up against the Oracle as well as the Morphling? Like, is Misery enough as a windrunner to support this?
I mean, Jubei should be fine for the first few waves at least. You know, it's just every morph game. You know, when he gets to like this level 3, then level 5, you don't really do anything to him anymore unless you catch him with like a shackle or a silence or something. But I mean, Vishu should be fine down here.
Yeah, and then we'll see. Always want to find how he's able to accomplish, you know, being that Oracle. That's such a pain when you hit like that level 2, level 3, especially when you have level 2 in the Purifying Flames. It feels very disgusting. FlyToMoon coming in and chance General up in the top lane. They're looking for a high 5. General getting low. Fissure hits, but one last shot from FlyToMoon to get the kill.
Yeah, I mean, there's a problem with the, I was saying, with the Batrider Shaker lane early on. Like, this lane is okay for Batrider when he gets levels, but the first few waves are really difficult. The Shaker's pulled the wave round, so he's got his own level 2 now. But they need to give the Batrider the XP. So Shaker did the right play by grabbing the wave, but he needs to just leave now to let the Batrider get XP so they can actually make plays with it.
Jesse throws an avalanche over mid, but, you know, it's just a little bit of a back. We're 7 and 5 for this Tiny. 5 early denies. Making this lane a little bit difficult for Iceberg.
I think he's used more regen though in general around the Tiny, because he went for this bottle rush really early on. And he's used all his charges already, and it's nowhere near the 4-minute mark. It's just you're gonna have to be a little bit careful now. Probably flying more regen out. ASAP.
And that's where we see probably, I would say the Windrunner comes over towards mid if we had to think about it at the 4-minute mark. But who for FlyToMoon? He's going to come over. Is it going to just be the Earthshaker? Can the Earthshaker afford to leave this Batrider with the way that he's struggling in this lane?
Nice power shot dodge. Yeah, I think... Yeah, this top lane's really awkward. I don't know, is the question. Sorry, the question is the answer. They need General to get to like level 4, I think, and I'd be interested to see whether he gets a point in Flamebreaker or if he gets a second point in Firefly. Because obviously the Firefly point's really good, but against the Enchant slow, he might feel like he needs to truck. It's, like, Flame Blake's a really good value point just for the fact that it pushes people.
Just want to get really low there, and all he's got is the Mango.
Yeah, and this is what I mean. Like, if Enchant slow comes out, and you can't get on top of people to get your Firefly damage up. That's horrible. Aspect almost died.
It might actually be in a lot of trouble here. Under the tower, still taking right clicks. Just need one more shot. They find him in trees. They should be able to get the kill, and the fissures there. Roger gets the kill on Ace. General now under the tower. Ace also loses his courier, and a TP out from General.
Oh, the couriers fell, both of them.
Oh, that's terrible for this lane.
Oh dear. I would say if you look at General's net worth though, like he's not having the best time on the Batrider.
Yeah, towards the bad.
Yeah, they have no. Does Spectre has regen? Let me check. Yeah, Spectre has 1 tango left in this lane now and a wand, and then there's no regen. So now this lane gets much better for the Batrider and the Shaker. Again, like, this bot lane's going to be even, but then as soon as more getting levels, like, it's going to be fine for them as well. On the Radiant side.
Courier. And FlyToMoon going down. And then he gets taken out over bottom, so the kill there. Always want to fly dies to Jibei. End up going around the map with couriers dying and heroes going down. But they get that Enchantress. That was you know, the kill that they struggled to get early on and ended up getting first blood. So finally they get a kill on this Ench.
I'd like to see FlyToMoon make a play around this mid lane when he hits 7-6 soon.
They go for General. He'll just TP back to the tier 1 tower out of the hands of FlyToMoon and Ace. But that's forcing him back, and that puts his TP on cooldown. So if they're able to get a kill on a General, it'd be a long ways back. But bottom, all of a sudden, Morphling taking a lot of damage, silenced by the Waning Rift of Jibei. Zergian always want to fly. We'll just fight back and forth.
What are the odds on Morphling dying to a power shot at some point when he's like trying to agi more? That's what I really want to see.
If they have the vision, I think it'll happen at least once or twice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not about getting the kills when you don't actually have vision.
They just threw like a ward deep or something, and all of a
this
sudden
is gonna put Pilot in trouble. He has 4 napalm stacks on him.
Yeah, the question is, do they want to dive the tower? I mean, they don't even have to dive that far. They've got so many stats. Spectral Dagger comes down to General, and you know he doesn't have that TP, so he's on the run. Right, needs to get in front of the Spectre. Ace still on General's tail. And he move in front and block General from going down. Gets another totem out.
Yep, I guess soon. 2 seconds.
Ooh, Fissure. And Spectral Dagger that gets the kill. By the way, the first item for General, he's going for a Meteor Hammer.
Yep. So I'm pretty sure, I might be wrong with this, I'm pretty sure Meteor Hammer is amped by 16 the damage. I might be wrong. There's one item, I can't remember what it is. I think it was in Meteor Hammer that gets, by napalm, so it does so much more damage than as well, and you can obviously combo it with the lasso as well. So you do so much damage to that hero when you get that.
Rift silences up too. Jibe now forced to lose door back, but he's right on top of this Morphling avalanche toss. He waits for it in Chessie's hands. V-Tune ends up going down though after always want to fly. Power shot lands from Misery. Another kill there for 5 men. And back over mid for Chessie.
Yeah, a little bit of a disaster. He obviously didn't know Chessie was there. So he's just waiting for the waveform to come in before he goes for the combo.
Iceberg comes bottom. So he's going to try and get something in return. I wonder if that means they'll send the Morphling mid.
Yeah, Iceberg really wants to make a play with this ghost ship. Like they want to find a kill, and there's 2 squishies down here, and the Ranger and the Puck. So,
I mean, they know he's here. Ooh. Misery. Took a lot of damage from that Tidebringer. Shackle doesn't land, but he doesn't get the X into the Torrent. It's not going to matter. Misery still ends up dead. They'll go after Puck, who throws in a loser, or back to Gaunt too. So, okay for Jibe. They end up losing Misery, though. Iceberg finally makes a play down bottom.
Yeah, Vishu's just going to sit in this mid lane as well, trying to pick up as much farm as he can while the Tiny just shoves the lane in. So he's going to do okay. Obviously, with the Morbid Mask as well, he can just jungle however he likes.
X on Jibe. With the Waning Rift, can't pull him back up.
Yeah, killing Puck with X Torrent is so difficult. You're kind of more reliant on the Fissure or the Lasso to be able to kill the Puck this game. X is a little bit more unreliable. They're going to go all in for the mid tower here, which is something that Firemen love to do. They love to bring both their supports through at once, and they just make a play and like try and commit to the tower and force rotations from the other team. Top lane there.
Now they've got the lasso out onto the Spectre. 5 stacks of sticky napalm to chase on, but they've got the enchant. General in a bad spot. He ends up dead. Ace survives. Pilot out with the TP back to save his carry from going down. Ace forced to TP back, but at least he's alive.
Yeah, he wants to make a play on here, so they're probably going to try and commit hard to bot, and he just haunts in, gets the kill, and they like try and push the tower or something. So they see always want to fly. Yeah, here we go.
Haunt gets used over bottom. They find this Oracle. They'll get the kill. He's getting himself one and then focusing over bottom. This is big. They're doing a lot of damage onto the safe lane tower, and they're looking for that tier 1 mid.
Yeah, they're playing really well at the moment on 5 men. They're making the right rotations on the map. They're making the right moves. But like we were saying, they need to be playing from ahead this game. So it's kind of almost not expected necessarily, but they have to be playing like this. So Tiny just tosses a creep over the air and finds 2 neutral items. He's like, oh, cool.
Treasure. This is amazing. It was good use of that first haunt for Ace.
So the thing for me now is the 10-minute catapult waves have spawned. So obviously 5 men have managed to find a tower down in the bot lane here, but this is like the timing that a lot of teams, they'll actually make moves on the map with the catapult waves.
They want to go for
Pilot. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here.
Pause from Spectre.
I think they're probably... Do they see the Shaker coming in here? Do they have vision?
Yeah. think they did catch it with I mean, they at least see Iceberg.
Yeah. Spectre's going Midas, by the way. So yeah, he's almost got it as well. Like, the Spectre's farming really well this game. He's actually the second most farmed in the game. So
I think Pilot Eye just knows he's dead. I mean, he's got a TP, but there's no way he gets out of this one. So why even attempt it with the TP? Get a courier. That's fine. Okay. And then
he did get his items off though, at least.
Yeah.
So he has the hammer.
Well, he'll have it in a second. He's got to go get that.
So they're getting the top tier 1 on FlyToMoon, but they're losing their mid tier 1 for it. So not really worth it for them. This mid tier 1 is so important. And you see the 5-man mid tier 1 is like full HP.
Yeah, that is, you know, a big problem considering now the jungle is very open for the Dire to invade.
Spectre's just able to freely farm the spot area of the map now because he knows that because they've taken this tier 1 bot, like the TP entry points to get to this bot lane are so like poor for the Radiant. They don't really have a way of getting onto him.
He's going for that early javelin. He's not too far away from that. Keen Optic picked up by the Tiny. He'll send that back. And then how's Morph's game going? He's got the Morph Mask and 2 Wraith Bands going. Man, Scotty.
See the puck keeping top here. They want to try and make a move on the Morph.
Which I believe for the Morph lane, the way it's queued up, it's Manta, Scotty, Axe. General really needs this Blink Dagger. Like, yeah, he's got this Meteor Hammer, but
They want the Spectre. They're smoked up.
see if they can grab this. Ace Spectral Dagger. Fissure doesn't land, and he's away. So they don't
really
catch the
nice.
Spectre, and that is a wasted amount of space for FlyToMoon with that smoke.
You know, it's a lot of time investment for the Radiant side without any return, especially like that much time on 3 heroes as well. He's gone a Shadow Blade for the Kunkka, which I really like. He obviously wants to try and build towards the Silver Edge at some point in this game to help deal with the Spectre as well. Pretty good against Ench. On top of that, so he gets rid of the Untouchable. I imagine he's probably likely to go back for like a BKB or something before he goes for the Silver Edge, but we'll have to see what he chooses to do.
Invisibility.
They see the tiny Blink Dagger there, though. They smoked up there to try and get a Blink reveal, Misery and Chessie, but
Dream Coil used. Now they get the Haunt. There's a level 6. False Promise already put into the Kunkka. They've got the Uzi Orb. They both snap this Dream Coil. They'll go after Roger on the back lines. Roger does have the Echo Slam to use, so they need to be careful. Iceberg, X, Touring, still surviving. Power Shot, and Chessie. He needs to try and get away, but he'll turn into this Tiny. He'll throw out an Avalanche. They've got a good Shackle landing on Roger as well as General. They go after Chessie. They should be able to commit onto this. Now they look over at Ace. He gets hit by the Fissure. They got the kill and always on a fly. Ooh, Flame Break, Spectral Dagger onto the high ground. So now they just can't grab Ace. They might be able to get themselves a kill though onto this Enchantress. Pilot Eye goes down to the Avalanche Toss combo. V2 is morphed into this Tiny.
yeah, and this is a problem at the moment on the 5-man side. They don't have the damage. You see the Kunkka, when the run buff was on him, he couldn't die, and he got to like 1 HP and just Shadow Bladed away because that's the run buff right now. So when this Spectre gets Manta, they'll actually be able to do damage and kill people. That Manta timing on the Spectre is so strong because all your illusions get Desolate as well. You do, you know, have such a big increase in damage. And they have to be like finding pickoff rather than taking these big 5-on-5s. Yeah, and they have the tiny blitz, so they can do that.
I think they were looking to maybe try and go on General here. He is getting closer to that Blink Dagger, but he certainly needs some time. Only Chessie. He's got to hit that.
I mean, that was unfortunate because he blinked in front of the bat, but the turn rate from the 1 point in like 1 napalm stack on him just messes up his avalanche there.
Immediately smoked afterwards. They've got themselves the X as well as the Torrent. Fortune's in, thrown in Misery, but here comes Chessie. Avalanche toss out into the Oracle. They'll get the kill and always want to fly. Ghost Ship coming through. Iceberg immediately looks for the TP out, but Jibe's here. Gets to the Dream Coil. He's got the run buff, but with 4 heroes around him, let's see if he can get out of this one. Iceberg's still on the run. Flame Break pushes them aside. He has that Shadow Blade, so he makes some distance. They've got the last one. They still get the kill on the Kunkka Iceberg. Avalanche from Chessie.
They need to cancel his blink. Otherwise, he's just gone.
Is he gone? He didn't exactly blink too far away, and he's under the tier 2 tower, so this is probably most likely his death for Chessie. Lying with Mofar, that's the new morning daytime show.
Everyone helps.
Mind day. I thought, did he not have TP or something? He must not have had it at the time. Otherwise, I think he just TPs away.
I swear he did. Unless he just picked that one up.
Always on a fly. He just kills the observer ward and then just runs away. Because he decides to Wind Ranger.
So you think, okay, so General's got both bots and blink queued up. Do you think he goes for bots or blink first?
I think he'll probably go bots first.
Well, yeah, I guess now that the Earth Shaker has the blink, right?
Yeah. I mean, the Shaker Blink's such a big time for them.
Fortune Zen's still coming out into Jibe. He needs to be careful. They've got to wait for him to close the gap. Juko comes out into 2, though. Shackle misses. Misery comes in, trying to get the kill and always on a fly. Focus fire out onto the Oracle. Oracle forced to use that false promise. Will survive. Still, they don't have the blink on the Earthshaker yet. It's going to get delivered, but they have the fissure. They get the kill and a Misery. Killing spree now for VTune. Now they've got the blink on Roger.
These kills to FlyToMoon are nice, but they're not killing the Spectre, who's the biggest hero on the map at the moment, right? And he has Midas. He's almost got that Manta now. He's only like just under 2,000 gold away. So in a few minutes, they're going to be ready to go on 5 round. They're going to be looking to try and make these big team fights happen with the Horn. Because if they catch the Oracle in the background at the same time as they pop Horn, Always Wanna Fly will just instantly die in like a coil and a silence duration because of that Manta on the Spectre. And at the same time, they can also cancel the Shaker's Blink with Horn as well. Like the Spectre pick's really good against both the supports.
Ship now mid. And that now hits. They've got the Meteor Hammer with the Torrent. Pyle die. He dies to Iceberg.
And Iceberg is going back for the BKB first, which yeah, I really like. If you look at the if you look at the Dire's heroes, they have hardly 8 physical damage, so this BKB is going to be really good.
This is
Shackle
so good right now for the Spectre. Shackle comes in. Morphling with the wait for him out, but the Avalanche hits. They've got themselves a haunt. They're going to move over, try and find the Oracle. Oracle can't save the Morphling anymore as Always Wanna Fly dies to Ace. They'll still look as VTune gets hit by the Dream Coil. He's turning into Spectre. He's got the Spectral Dagger. He was trying to get away, but 4 heroes around him. Can he survive this? He's got Waveform, but there's the toss. Avalanche in, and Chessie takes out the Morphling. There's a lot of commitment from the Dire, though.
Yeah, but that's exactly what they need to do. If they get the Haunt and they kill the Morphling, like in that duration. But you see what Ace did on the Spectre. Like he went on the Oracle before even touching the Morph, because they know that the Oracle is the most important kill to find when they pop the Horn. Because in some games when you play against Oracle, it's really difficult to find him at the start of a fight because like his positioning or something can
gonna find
be really difficult to find.
Oh, Shackle? Maybe. Just trying to time it, and there's the damage. Iceberg gets the kill. But we look at how much Spectre is farming. Ace is doing an amazing job, and he's just about got this Manta.
Yeah, this game still looks really good for 5 men. I will say though, you know, they're playing Morph Shaker on FlyToMoon.
Yeah.
So it's going to hit a point this game where things might just get wild. Because like even the Wind Run on the from the Wind Run, it doesn't matter because the Enchant Tome's True Strike. So it just goes and hits through the Wind Run anyway.
Jibe. He ends up falling over the bottom to General. As Pilot I taking a lot of damage from Iceberg offense. The Tidebringer, and now with the Ghost Ship coming in, Iceberg able to grab another one. All of a sudden, he's 5-1-1. Iceberg having a very good game thus far. He's almost into this BKB. He's only 1,000 gold away.
How to kill Jibe bot lane next though? I was just talking. On the pub, it just I missed it.
Pretty sure Bat just got the kill. He didn't even use his lasso though.
No, that's what I mean.
That was a little bit
like,
surprising.
Echo's
So
not on cooldown either.
Yeah, must have just been the Meteor Hammer because I was looking up towards top as well. Blink. Strike comes in. V2 looking over at Chessie. Goes at the Avalanche, but they've got Iceberg coming in. Sentry, I believe they caught Iceberg there, and they've also got another Sentry down. They get the Dream Coil onto 2 of these heroes. I don't know if they're going to commit onto this. Shackle comes through.
Nice Shackle dodge. Do they want to fight this?
I'm thinking about it, but V2 also backing away.
They have to be really careful on FlyToMoon. They're so close to this BKB on the Kunkka. You kind of just want to chill a little bit here. Morphling does have Manta now though, which is really nice of him. So like the silence from the puck, which is one of the the silence from the puck, which is one of the main ways of killing him, now just isn't viable because he has the mantle.
If they can find Jibe again, they've got V2 up swords top, and General is right there.
They're just gonna wait for Jibe to try and show in the lane here.
Blink Echo. Oh, Roger. That was not the move. And now that Echo's on cooldown, he whips that Echo Slam. And now they're going to come and turn this around. Jibe moving forward. Dream Cool on cooldown for another 12 seconds. Ace using that Spectral Dagger now to get over the fissure and over the cliff. Roger with a totem, but it's not going to keep him alive. They'll end up losing this Earthshaker. They'll use the False Promise. Always want to fly. We'll try to TP out. And does so successfully.
Popping a salve as well. Yeah, he's going to be fine.
So survives in the base, but now they're over towards General, where they do have the Dream Coil available. So he's going to try and juke this out. It's going to be very difficult. They've got the Avalanche as well as the Toss. General dies to Chessie. They've got a two-man Torrent as well as Ghost Ship coming in. V2 turns this around. Avalanche as well as the Toss. Down goes Jimmy. Down goes Chessie. They get two off this.
Yeah, V2's playing really well with these morph targets. Like he's finding the tiny like almost every time, it feels like. And like you were saying about the Wind Ranger before, like it's a nice one to turn into, but this tiny just gives him so much burst damage with the Avatos and Waveform and Adaptive Strike. He effectively has 4 nukes on one hero, which is pretty bonkers. The BKB for the Kunkka, yeah?
Yeah.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So that'll get delivered. He'll have that BKB. Wouldn't be surprised if you know, maybe they farm a little bit longer. They wait for the False Promise at least, and then go to fight. These cooldowns are just about to hit at basically the same time on the Morphling Earthshaker as well as the Oracle. So they could just wait till everything's up. Fight, take the fight if they do. Go for Roche, but at least right now, Fireman doing a very good job. I know they're down 1,000 gold right now, but
not right.
Spectre's doing okay. Lasso, Meteor Hammer, Jibe. He ends up dead. Lasso in general, as well as V-Shun being there.
Invisibility.
Get a big
and
pick off.
This Puck's net worth is really falling off as well.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember how poor General's start of this game was? But it just doesn't matter. Like, he's finding these openings and he's finding the kills. And Jibe just not really getting the same amount coming in right now. But FlyToMoon's definitely, you know, the ones playing on the front foot here, like we were talking about. And they're just grouping as 5, or at least they're trying. I mean, Roger's going to make his way over soon. You don't want to give them the potential to find like people getting to like easily get picked off with the puck and the tiny, which is what 5 men need to do. If they just group up and play around this run buff from the Kunkka, they're really strong.
Bastion picked up now for the Spectre, going into the Abyssal Blade, foregoing the Scotty for now.
Yeah, I don't mind the Abyssal first. I think that's fine. Like when you hoard, you want to be able to kill people straight away, like the Oracle. Abyssal's really good against Morphling as well.
Toss. We go in for General. They've got the Dream Coil used. Waning Rifts. He's silenced. Can't get away. Snaps it. Kills himself. And Jibe ends up getting to kill those smoke and get some distance and go away.
Where are they wanting the smoke here? That's interesting.
I don't know if that was just to escape seeing TPs are coming in, but now they're heading towards top.
This is a really nice smoke actually, because they know that people are probably they're going to want to go for Pyjamas die up in this top lane, so they just look to connect.
They are going to get the kill on a Pyjamas die. The question is, can they get behind them? They'll get the kill and always want to fly. Chessie gets that one. They'll TP out on Roger, but there's the Haunt Spectral Dagger. They look over for Iceberg.
Yes.
Iceberg has the BKB, but he didn't BKB before he TP'd, and now he BKB'd and he's just dead. Okay. Iceberg.
To be honest, I don't think it matters because Ace has a basher anyway, and I think he bashed him there, which would have gone through the BKB. So. But yeah, really nice smoke rotation though from C9. They read that play. Not C9, sorry, that was Ace's tag from 5 men. They read the rotations on the map really well though. And there's a DD spawned out the pit. Well, okay. Does he pop Mantle here to find the Roche kill quicker?
He's got to really be careful about this for this Morphling. Now going into the Axe. This is not... The
game still... I still think this game in FlyToMoon's favor though. They're going to go for the Axe on the Morphling now, and they're going to have that combo that we've talked about. So.
Yep.
There is a problem, and I get it, but the Tiny and the Puck are really going to start to fall off in terms of damage output really soon. So it's kind of only really the Spectre that they have to worry about in terms of the damage output. And Misery's gained MKB, which is obviously going to help them a lot. But I feel like he dies so quickly this game. Like, they have so much burst damage on Radiant side. I think the Wind Ranger just dies at the start of the fight, and they're going to smoke up here.
We'll see. I mean, I think 5 minutes has done an okay job, but like we said, we wanted to see them play from ahead, and I really like. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to reiterate your point. It feels like it's all on Spectre.
But I mean, Spectre games are usually all on Spectre, aren't they? Let's be real.
Yeah.
This isn't like a big shock to anybody.
Iceberg sitting up front. Chessie does have that blink as well as the Echo Saber, but now he gets caught with the X as well as the Ghost Ship coming in, waveform forward, and they're going to go right in on the Chessie. They've got the damage to get the kill. VCHUN holding more. Thought he might want to turn to the Tiny, and they're just going to throw a Meteor Hammer out of this tier 2 mid and back away. They could go for Roche.
It's under attack.
They smoked up because they wanted to go for Roche before, but there was an Edge Creep just sitting in the pit. So they are going to go back for it now. And without the Tiny, they don't have any damage because the Tiny's dead now. Of course, these Spectres can kill people, but it's not enough to kill all 5. So this should be a pretty free Roche for FlyToMoon.
Get themselves the Aegis on a VCHUN. This makes this game very difficult at this point for 5-man. But again, I don't know. I've seen enough Spectre games where I still have faith.
Yeah, always. Always have faith in the Spectre.
Especially like Spectre Ags. I don't know if you've seen Spectre Ags much, but it is so good.
No. Stop. I've had this conversation with Nomad so many times. There's some games where it's okay, but it's like 4,200 gold. It's so, and it's like almost the Scardy.
I think the gold investment is a lot.
It's
but
nice.
I will say
it
it's
just
nice.
needs other items.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
Of course. I think it fits though. In some cases, just because it's 35 seconds, man. It's
of course.
It's good.
You also have
when you have that
as well. So.
Dream Coil used. BKB comes out from General. Get to have that Ags on the puck. Jibei now on the run. Right click's coming in. Misery, can he stop him? Blinkfish misses. Phase shift from the puck. Torrent coming through. That lands and they'll get the kill.
I like seeing 2 orbs just going the same way next to each other parallel as well. Do you like my buzzwords there? Parallel. It's like GCC maths all over again.
Is that a buzzword? Is parallel?
Well, it's like 11-year-old maths, but you know, it's fine.
Perpendicular of each other?
This guy's got some big words.
Tower is under attack.
They took the tier 1 tower over bottom. Only a 2k lead thus far. Abyssal Blade finish for A. So we'll see how he attacks this and what he's going to go for next. Do you still want to see that Scotty come out for the Spectre?
Yes, I do. He might feel like he needs a damage item instead or something, but I'm going to pop the horn.
By the Spectre. Going for General. Shackle does connect. They've got the damage. They have the dust. They'll get the kill onto the Bat Rider. Very well done there by 5-man. It is the Horn expended, but a good pick off to get nonetheless.
I mean, they get a kill for the Haunt, which is nice. I guess the most important thing there is it slows FlyToMoon down with how they use this Aegis, right? Which is kind of important. But at the same time, they can only really fight with Haunt on...
Echo on a 2. Fisher hits 3. Now they've got the 200 follow this up. There's the waveform. And he turns into the puck, so he used that Waning Rift to get the silence out on a Jimmy, so he's not able to lose the orb away. Falls from saves Roger. They get the Kona pilot die. They've taken out 2 on the side of 5
as well.
Now they look over at Misery. They have the X as well as the Ghost Ship coming through on the Windrunner, and the adaptive strike from VCHUN finishes him off. Triple kill for VCHUN. Still holds that Aegis. A very good fight from FlyToMoon.
Yeah, really well played by FlyToMoon. They understand that without the Haunt, they're going to be so much stronger. Like on 5-man, they have to play off this Haunt to find good fights. And it's such a long cooldown, 140 seconds, that it's always going to be difficult whenever you don't have that spell up.
Could have.
And now Morphling has the Axe coming out on the Courier soon as well. It's just going out to the shop now.
Could have Shadow Step.
Yeah, and then he'd definitely lose.
All right.
Yeah, you heard it here first. You've seen he has a gem on the Spectre as well, which is obviously really important because Always Want to Fly has the Glimmer Cape on the Oracle. So gives him a way of just making sure the Oracle dies every single fight and he doesn't get out. Or at least he has to, I mean, forces the Oracle to ult himself, which is obviously not what you want to do. And here's the Ags. Kaboom.
Queue up Space
the
Jam.
outpost just before 30
Right
minutes.
before 30.
Gotcha.
Can I get some OS frogs in chat, actually?
Yeah.
This is so dumb. I hate this so much.
Gonna be quite disgusting. AC picked up for Iceberg. Good. We started really focusing our attention onto the Spectre and the Morphling, but meanwhile, Iceberg's still having an amazing game. You look at his net worth, he's practically keeping up with the Spectre.
Jibe really needs this Ags at the moment
Yeah.
on the puck. They need a way of just controlling them more. He has Aegis still, but it's only for another 30 seconds.
Avalanche toss on a V-Tune. He turns in the Earthshaker, misses the fissure, goes to the totem. Now they've got the haunt. We'll see where he goes. Echo Slam ends up getting used. Look at the kill to Jibe. And now always want to fly. He ends up dead too. False promise.
Iceberg
General pops the BKB. Iceberg moving forward, has the X Ghost Ship onto Ace. Totem over. One shot, Pylai die. See you later. Oh my. And then they've got the totem right on top of Ace. Go try to run with the Spectral Dagger. The Flame Break actually pushes them a little bit further, but they've got V2 continuing forward to get themselves 3. And actually, all 3 were picked up by the Morphling. Now the Aegis expires, so after using all that health and mana, back up to full. It couldn't have planned itself out better. Wow.
I wish you could have seen my camera there. There's something so satisfying about watching somebody get one shot. That was amazing.
Jeez.
Yeah, get the OS frogs ready again. That was really quite something.
1 in chat for broken. 2 in chat for broken. They take the tier 3s and throw the Meteor Hammer on this mid set of racks. All of a sudden, it's an AK lead for the side of FlyToMoon. Although they land the Touring right where Chessie was TPing in. It's a double fissure. They've got the Lasso, the control of the Tiny. They'll get the kill. The Dreamcore comes in as well as the Waning Rip. They've got themselves a 3-man silence, but it doesn't look like it's going to do much. Iceberg gets hit with a Focus Fire, but a 2-shot from V-Tune. Misery ends up dead. He'll go after Pylai. Die the waveform forward, turns into the Earthshaker, goes after this puck. Phase shift avoids the totem, but he's still right there. Blinks back into the well. And another triple kill for V-Tune. Iceberg, he'll start to take the tier 3 tower up in the top lane. 4 heroes down on the side of 5 men. And it looks like FlyToMoon are about to cap off game 1. I mean, look at the damage coming out from V2.
Yeah, that's they just don't have the damage output at the moment. I can't believe they tried to fight. Well, they didn't really try and fight on Dire, but without the Spectre, these fights are impossible. Now that the OS Frog Morph is in the game, I don't even think he needs the Aegis at this point. I really struggle to see how he's going to die when he has a team behind him. There's so much to protect him. There's the Oracle, there's the Earthshaker with Echo Slam, the boat buff from the Kunkka. Yeah, it's crazy right now. And there's a double damage top as well. That if they see, I mean, they one-shot the Edge without double damage. So
you still one-shot the end?
Yeah.
I mean, there's that axe. So like we were hoping that he'd get that axe and there'd be time to fight and you can take this again. But he's also got Satanic. Like I don't even know how you kill this Morphling.
What I love about Shake and Morph, by the way, is that it was in the game for ages before people started picking it, and then as soon as somebody did it, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, this is pretty good." And then it died down for a little while when they nerfed it, and then people were like, "No, this is still good." Like, it's okay. They nerfed the travel time in the air from the Enchant Totem. Oh my god!
Oh my god! That tower, that first hit. Oh my god! He still has half the duration left on this double damage, so it's gonna be difficult to try and get the kill. V2 kind of gets stuck in his steps, and now they've gone with the Haunt. They'll pop the BKB on Iceberg. They go to the back lines to get the kill, and I always want to fly. They look over at General now. Ace, Haunt's back. They've got the toss on a V2. Can they get the kill here onto the Morphling? He's taking a lot of damage. Might be in some trouble, but now he pops the Satanic. He'll end up surviving. They've got the lasso out. Ace ends up dead. Iceberg gets the kill. And they will lose Roger, but he'll buy back. The one-shot Pylai die again. They've got the X as well as the Ghost Ship coming in out onto Chessie. They backed off for a moment, but the Totem and the waveform forward, the damage coming through on the Chessie isn't going to be enough. The Avalanche thrown. Lotus Orb on a V-Tune. Coming over is Misery to try and land that Shackle, but it gets Lotus Orb back. And in second, they're about to be Megat. Trying to defend as best they can. Silence. Heal on Iceberg. Abyss Blade used on a general. False promises there. They've got the save once again. Spectre Dagger always on a fly. That's why they went for the Oracle first. They're going to continue to go for this because it feels like they must. Avalanche toss kills off OGA Dota for the second time. They've got the Shackle coming through on a general. The damage is there. They have the first hit bash coming out from Ace, and 3 heroes are gone on the side of FlyToMoon. Laugh though now used on a V-Tune, keeping him close, but here comes Iceberg. They got the damage come through on a Jibe. Now the toss back. That never stopped the coil. They've used the Manta. They've got the Avalanche coming through, getting a little bit of control of the waveform, and the attempt to TP out is gone. Iceberg now, with the invis, he should be able to just step away from 5 men.
I mean, the thing is, they keep themselves in the keeping their base alive, right? But now because Ace has fought back on the Spectre, he's so far away from his next time. So, yeah, that's it's really difficult to see how they're going to be able to keep up with this morph now. The only reason they backed off at all in the first place is because of Shaker died. So they didn't have the morph Shaker combo anymore. Second Roche is going to spawn relatively soon. It's actually going to be in another minute. They might look to try and make a play before that even happens, to be honest. I see so many frogs in the chat, and it makes me really happy. Thanks, guys.
So, I mean, they hold. Iceberg?
Oh. He tried to land a shackle but lost vision before he popped dust.
Oh god,
Misery dead.
Misery.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, when you've got
Is Misery dead?
when you've got a Morphling in an Earthshaker form toteming right on top of you, I'm gonna go with yes.
All's well.
I mean, that's just the clear-cut answer. V-Tune going for this last set of racks.
They have a repair kit?
They'll buy back, they'll use the Haunt. Where will this Spectre go? Spectre jaunting all over the place, not really finding anybody to focus on, so Haunt's down. Okay.
That's a little bit sad. Okay, they repair kit the racks again. This is it.
Echo on a 2. Roger finds the Windrunner as well as the Tiny to get the Cone of Misery. They look for Chessie. They've got the Dream Code down on the both of Morphing as well as the Earthshaker. They've got the lasso out on Ace. Ace survived for now, but can he get out of this one? Nope, he cannot. He'll get Achilles dead for 2 minutes. The GG will be called. They go in for Chessie as the GG gets called. They'll get themselves a 3rd kill, maybe even a 4th on Jimmy, but he goes into the phase shift before the Ancient drops. And with that, FlyToMoon will take game 1.
Yeah, really well played by FlyToMoon. They hit their timing really well. Even though they fell they fell behind a little bit early on, I just don't think it mattered. Mm-hmm. They ran out of steam on 5 minutes.
Dire team ban.
but they don't really take buildings. So yeah, to win the game, you have to take buildings. So that's the most important thing for me going into this game, is make sure they take some kind of pick some kind of objective taker. Not just for buildings, but for Roche as well. Like, their Roche line looks okay, but it's kind of reliant on this Spectre having farm and having Manta to take it down quickly and stuff. So, yeah.
In the draft for game 2 we go, and there's the Doom Bat Rider getting banned out by 5-man. What's the deal here? Because it seems, at least from what I saw in the Americas, Doom wasn't like it's never getting banned. Is this like a team specific thing going on right now with the Doom getting banned up against FlyToMoon, or is this like just a more popular pick in the EU CIS region?
I think the CIS teams especially are really good with that hero. The EU teams still pick it, and they obviously really like it, but the CIS teams especially are very, very strong. I know, like Empires and FlyToMoon and stuff, and all these like CIS guys, but FlyToMoon especially are very good with it. Yeah, because they have the flexibility between moving it between roles as well. So yeah, you definitely don't want to play up against that. I think Tiny still being in the pool is a big deal here. Phoenix was the other one, but it gets instantly picked up by 5-men. So yeah, the only change is the Phoenix being let through, but the Batrider being banned out instead.
And now there's a Venge. Maybe an early Venge pick, just because FlyToMoon maybe see something in that. The Phoenix can combo with the Void. I know that Venge has been a big contested hero when it comes to picking up that Void, Faceless Void. So we'll see if that's the case. Phoenix also has a couple other combinations that are really good. Mars Phoenix is always nice. Tree and Phoenix is always nice. And an early Arc Warden Ace staple hero here. Wow. And so do they look very early Arc Warden.
Do they just try and pick Spectre here straight away as their way of dealing with the Arc Warden? You know, what's their answer for this hero? Because there's not many great core heroes that have the amount of gap close that something like Spectre does, that they need to get on top of the Arc Warden. You know, like historically things like these Terrorblades and stuff are just not great against that hero. So I'm really interested to see what they go for here.
And they go right back to the Morphling. Okay, I mean, we've seen obviously good Morphling games. You know, last one was a great Morphling game. You had that Earthshaker. Do you see this game, like, are they going to go back to the Earthshaker? Are they going to go back, or are they going to look for the Windrunner? I don't even think Earthshaker makes it through this phase. Honestly, if I'm 5-men, I'm banning the Earthshaker right now.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if it got let through. I think the other thing is they can play Venge 3 and 5 as well on FlyToMoon. I'd imagine they could probably play 4 as well.
Yeah.
I don't feels like it's probably not an Iceberg hero, so I can't imagine them playing it as a 2. But yeah, I think Shaker gets banned out, and I want to see them pick. I mean, Phoenix is a vessel builder, right? So that's fine in itself. They banned Nyx again. Yeah. So they must just really respect the Roger Nyx then, I guess. Yeah, AA gets instantly taken out. I'm trying to think of other heroes that are really good against Morphling.
Beastmaster. That last one's got to be the Earthshaker, right? I think giving up the Earthshaker Morphling would be...
I mean, it doesn't have to, though, because Venge, Morphling, Shakers are still a really greedy combination of heroes to open your draft with.
Yeah.
I like the Tiny ban, though. I think that hero makes Morphling's game a little bit too hard sometimes. Because you have that, so much like burst potential, you can't ever really be farming on low agi. Sorry, on high agi, like low HP. And it's just so flexible with your open lane still as well. We have to remember it could be Phoenix 4 or 5 as well. Something like Mag is still in the pool that they could pair up to protect the egg with. They obviously have Magnetic Field as well, which is really good to pair up with the egg.
Couldn't it even be Phoenix 3 if they felt that necessary?
They could, yeah. I don't think it will be. I think Phoenix 3 is really good when you play against these heroes like Terrorblade and stuff that don't deal well with the high magic damage. But I think something like Morphling, you probably just want to put the Phoenix as a support, get a relatively good vessel timing, and just try and make plays.
10 seconds remain.
I like this Venge Morphling opener though as well. I think both openers are fine.
5 seconds remain.
What do they want to pair up with? I also want to know what they want to pair up with the Venge still, like in terms of like their mid game and things. Against Sanking as well, which is interesting. Okay.
I like that Sand King too. It feels like one of those picks that, you know, gives you team fight, gives you lockdown, gives you long range lockdown too.
5 seconds.
I find it really interesting. Yeah, I find it really interesting as well that when Sanking is in the pool, they obviously have Magnetic Field as well, which is really good to pair up with the Venge still. Like in terms of like their mid game and things.
Mm-hmm.
something like Spectre Void is still in the pool, they still decided to go for Morph over those heroes. Because Spectre and Void are, you know, historically very good against Arc in a core-to-core matchup. So, yeah, pretty cool. Maybe they value the Morphling Burst more, potentially.
Yeah.
I mean, Shaker is still in the pool if they really want it.
Or Windrunner. I mean, if you don't want to go that Earthshaker route.
Could do, yeah.
I do like that combo a little bit more than probably others. I'm just excited to see what they go for now. Like, what's going to be General's hero?
Because Bat and Clock are both banned. So,
Yeah.
I mean, they
wouldn't. And there's the Windrunner, but thinking back at General, would it be? And there's the Mars combo. So,
Yeah.
sorry. Would it be worth going like Brewmaster for General?
Void incarnate.
it's okay. I don't think it's great though. I don't rate Brewmaster massively as a hero at the moment. I think it's okay, but it's not. I rarely see an occasion where I think Brewmaster's better than a different pick.
Even you said last game, Underlord was getting very popular.
I like this. This Void Spirit Wind Ranger pick are nice, but their whole lineup is pretty squishy. They need to make sure they pick up some kind of relatively good catch now on 5 men. I think. Yes, they have the Mars Phoenix, but they need something that's a little bit more low committal against like these really mobile heroes. They're playing against Morph, Wind Ranger, and Void Spirit. So, I mean, they could go back for something like the Puck again if they really wanted to, because it's really good against all their heroes right now. Obviously, that Koyo is going to do wonders. And Chessie and Jibbe both play it, so it could still be the mid Puck for Chessie. Maybe something. Maybe something like a Shadow Demon might be cool as well. It's not really like catch as such, but the Purge is really good. Yeah, they do go for the Puck. It's such a good Puck game, so I'm not surprised to see them just go for it again. You know, Chessie's probably saying to them, guys, like, my hero counters 3 of their heroes, so let's just go for it.
10 seconds remain.
I don't know whether Misery plays this Puck as a 4.
5 seconds.
Because I've seen some support Pucks around a little bit recently, but not a huge amount.
I mean,
It's more likely to be Chessie's hero.
yeah. But then, is it good against the Void Spirit?
Yeah. In the laning stage is fine for the Void Spirit, but in the mid game, the Coil was so good because it stops him from using his spells to get out of the fight. Like, you can't dissimulate, you can't Astral Step. You have to just either break the Coil or stand in it. And it's the same for the Morphling. They obviously have Avenge swap, which is nice, but you can't swap both of the cores.
10 seconds remain.
Kunkka ban.
5 seconds remain.
Ban, okay. I mean, are they thinking that General is going to be on that Void Spirit?
Yeah, General and Iceberg both play it, so they have the flexibility to play it on either of them. I will say the Void Spirit's really good at giving them a gap close they need to get on top of the Arc Warden as well, which is nice. I like the ET ban, that's a really good one. Something 5 men have played before, and obviously very good against the Morphling for the Natural Order as well. Piercing through all that high armor,
Seconds.
natural base armor. I'm trying to look at like cheap catch heroes for 5 men. And I'm
Radiant's
But cheap in
So maybe-
4, right?
to pick.
maybe something like Shadow Shaman might be interesting, but I can't see them picking it.
Just have not seen much Shadow Shaman. But Rubik
Like
already
DK?
banned. I was thinking that too. I was thinking DK, but I just wasn't sure if that fit this lineup enough.
Yeah, I think they need a support is the problem. Maybe like Disruptor or something could be interesting.
10 seconds.
So it's not great against Void Spirit because he just dodges the glimpse with Dissimilar.
5
Would Shadow Demon even works?
Yeah, Shadow Demon's okay. It's not great though. Willow potentially could be interesting as well, I think.
Yeah, I could be, especially within that arena where you get like Terrorize.
But I think they're more likely to pick a Pylo Die hero and then put the Phoenix as the 4, probably. So like Lion or something could be interesting as well, I think.
Gives you stun, gives you burst. You know, allows you to have that hex as well.
The mobility of the FlyToMoon side is what they need to be most worried about. And like, so they need the catch. Something like Silencer could even be interesting as well, actually, with the global.
Radiant must choose.
Enchantress.
Oh, okay. Let's just go for more solid lanes. Fair enough. I mean, I don't mind this too much. I think the Enchantress in the lane should do well against like Wind Ranger Void Spirit if they decide to put the Wind Ranger as the 4. I think it also has potential to be a Wind Ranger 2 this game. Or like a... doesn't have to be Wind Ranger 4.
5 seconds remain.
I wonder what they go for. They don't really have any egg hitters at the moment either, is my other thing. Which could be potentially worrying.
Yeah, I mean... Okay. I like that, actually. I like that a lot.
That's okay, yeah. They're going to put the Nature's Prophet mid. It's an iceberg. Nature's Prophet. He's really good at this hero. It allows him to play tempo now as well, which is nice. It's like into them early. If he goes for like an early Orchid, I mean, Chessie's going to have to go yours first, I'd imagine.
I like that early.
Interesting. Yeah, I think with the Venge as well, obviously they get the aura of the attack range, which is nice with the Morphling and the Nature's Prophet as well. It's a hero that allows them to get onto the backline wherever Ace is in the fight, because they have the teleport. Like, they have mobility in their lineup to be able to get on top of the arc. And I think a lot of this comes down to how well this General Roger lane does against the Pylon Ace. Yeah. I think if General and Roger have a rough time in their laning stage, they might struggle to play the tempo they want on FlyToMoon. And I worry for 5 men again a bit in the sense that when BKBs come out on FlyToMoon, they might struggle a bit. Yeah.
You can... how quickly can you get an Ags here on the puck? Like... Is that even the proper, like, and you know, it's an answer for sure, but is it enough of an answer? I'm also worried that this Arc Warden might just get overwhelmed. Like, this seems like an even faster lineup from FlyToMoon.
It is, but I also, you have to remember they have much better team fight on 5 men this game. You know, they've got the Phoenix Marks, so, and they have the Puck Coil as well. So whenever these 5-on-5s do break out, they didn't have a huge amount of and damage last game, whereas this game they have a lot more. So I prefer their draft to their last game's draft. I think just in their draft themselves, and this one's a lot more even, I think. It's a small Seb from Words Wanna Fly.
Compared especially to the other Seb.
What I love about that is if you use yours after somebody else, it cancels their one out straight away and just uses yours instead. So like if you have a really small one, but somebody uses their... you know what? I'm not even going to carry on with that sentence. It's not worth it. I know what Twitch chat are like. I see you guys. I see you.
Jeez.
30 seconds to battle.
So Misery going for this crown build on the Phoenix, which you see a lot of position 4 Phoenixes do. I think GH was one that started doing it a lot as well. You just don't start for any region, you buy tangos straight away when you get the bounties. But you hit so hard in these early stages of the game with the crown build towards the hammer.
Any first blood potential like last game doesn't.
He's just going to trade 2 for 2 on the runes this time as well. So no first blood, no rune advantage this time for 5 men.
No immediate 1k lead for him. That was the case in the last game, but they definitely dealt with it properly.
How much can Chessie Misery get done to pressure the Morphling in this bot lane as well? This is interesting for me. Because last game, they pressured Vichun okay, but they didn't really stop him from farming. Okay? He kind of just did his thing eventually and just, you know, got to that point they really needed to. So especially at level 1, they need to make sure they pressure this more hard again.
And they put Jibe over mid against Iceberg. How do you feel about that? Ooh, hold on, top. Taking a look. Pylon die in some trouble. They landed that Shaco for a second. Pylon die was getting a little bit low and actually goes first level into the Nature's Attendance. When was the last time we saw an Enchantress take that?
That's interesting, isn't it? I sometimes see this when they know they can't get the value from the creep camp. I've seen people take it at like level 3 before the enchant. So, going back to your point though about Jube on the Mars, I think this is okay. I still feel like Iceberg should do fine in this lane, but yeah, it's a much better matchup for the Mars than it is for the Puck.
Yeah, so that was my follow-up to that one. Is that okay for the Puck?
Yeah, I mean, the Puck will be fine with how their lanes have ended up. I like to see this kind of flexibility from teams as well. I think it's important.
Yeah, you see, you know, with just some of these other laners being able to go mid and be successful with it. We used to see that from a couple of Chinese teams as well. I'm trying to think of like most notable team that would have that like swap of like the safe and mid. Roger. Top, getting low. Almost ends up dead again. He's salving up. I believe, did General pass him a salve?
I didn't see it. I think he's just bought one from the shop, but maybe he did. I don't know.
I could have heard somebody else's salve as we've seen change.
Down in the spot lane is on Cheshy's taking a lot of damage. This laning stage, I don't think it's going great for 5 men at the moment. Like Ace has 5 CS right now.
Adaptive strike on a Misery. Not enough to get the kill there. And then back over towards mid. We see Iceberg 11 and 4 to Jibe's 14 and 3. But, you know, obviously a couple of those CS.
Nice pull down bot lanes. Yeah, gonna steal 2 of the creeps away. Shackle, top lane.
They're still trying to go on a pilot die.
Oh, he has no power shot. Right, okay. It's fair enough. He's going to go around and try and get the big creep from the Ench on the other camp. But, I mean, the problem with this is if you don't get a creep from this big camp next to the lane, because it only lasts for 30 seconds at level 1, you don't really get to use the creep in the lane itself if you have to go further away.
And they'd love to get an ensnare out, but does this even get them a kill? Like, what does this get them?
Yeah, it doesn't do a huge amount, to be honest. But it's nice just to try and zone them off of their lane a little bit, right? Like, it's about to die, so.
Sacrifice it into the tower, doesn't even die to the Windrunner. You just get an easy, you know, bit of damage out there. And Pilot Eye is going to be enchant level 2, so now next level, what? Should be Impetus, right? Where you're starting to do a little bit more harassment.
He could do. I mean, it depends, because we saw from Pilot Day last game, he went for the like 2-2-0 by level 4. He might feel like he needs some more points in the heal this game just to help his arc in the laning stage. You're playing against the wind run from Roger, right? So you can't ever really land impetus hits on him anyway.
Radiant fortifying their structures against
Well played by Iceberg made to glyph that wave there. So when the God's Rebuke comes through, he doesn't get the last hits.
Phoenix dropping low, ends up getting first blood on a V-Tune. Chessie getting the kill there. Always want to fly swaps. Getting first blood for 5 men as they get this kill in a V-Tune, and this is already better against this Morphling bottom than it was in the last game.
They must have caught him out with a oh, Jibe mid. Oh,
Whoa. Pops the salve and gets Invis.
Jesus, that was close though. I mean, he gets the Invis through, so his bottle gets refilled, but so they're going to try and make a play mid here potentially. The voice crit has caught the Ench as well at the same time.
Yeah, so they get this kill on a Popeye die, which is nice for them, but again, over mid, they're looking for Iceberg. They've got Misery and Jibe diving the tier 1 tower. Have they gone too far at this point? They'll look over at Misery. They have the Shackle and the Magic Missile to get this kill. They'll leave it for the Nature's Prophet. Jibe ends up getting a Bounty Rune. However, is he safely out?
Yeah, he stole the Bounty Rune. That's really nice for him. But yeah, good rotations by the Radiant supports. That felt so forced, that dive from Misery. Like, they wanted to make the play before, you could see. But then as soon as this wave comes under the tower, like, it's a difficult kill to find.
Wrath of Nature comes out early. They do a lot of damage on Ace. They don't get him within the Sprout, but they do block him for a second. They're trying to get these treants in front. Roger has Shackle in 4. But let's see. I think Roger's setting up to throw a shackle and
Nice
have to latch to that tree. The question is, do they have the follow-up? They missed the Aether Remnant. Now they've got out to work. Resonant Pulse, getting the right click damage from Iceberg. It's a long chase for this kill onto the Arc Warden, but one well worth it to get that kill.
Oh, he can't jaunt away to the orb now on Chessie as well because the stun from Always on a Fly, so he's just going to start clicking him down. And the thing is, with this Phoenix rotating around to try and make things happen on other parts of the map, this has just freed up more to farm down here, and nobody can touch it. Like, so he's getting solo XP down here now as well because Always on a Fly is what he's doing.
But immediately into the Dissimilary.
I don't know, I just feel like Misery's last few minutes haven't really achieved anything. Like, he's trying really hard, and now Iceberg's coming in.
Yeah, he comes over. Does he have? No, he's down for 26 seconds. This means Aether Remnant. Let's see who gets the right click, and it ends up being General. All of a sudden, you think you could just feel what we were talking about in the draft about the mobility. Coming over and getting these kills, you know, making it 5-1. That being said, like, can Ace continue to you know, farm up and keep himself competitive, as well as this Mars? Like, Mars is 41-4. If you take a look at the net worth, though, they're towards the middle of the pack. Like, not as good as it looks on the CS chart.
No, it's going really well for FlyToMoon at the moment. All of their cores are farming well, and they're not really dealing with this morph again. It feels like last game, in that sense at least.
Now losing his courier, and
I mean, there's no more spirits. Yeah.
I wonder what this first item is for Iceberg. We were talking about how we were hoping it would be the Orchid, so
he might just
on that.
Yeah, he might just decide he wants to get like more right-click damage though as well. But Orchid, because it gives you so much int as well. Like, Prophet gets so much damage off of that IM. There's a rotation from Jibe coming through though.
Yeah, they've got the arena once again. The Sprout is used. They've got themselves the spears, so they get this kill on Iceberg. Well done by 5 men to come over. They do have the Aether Remnant, and he's got an Astral Step to swipe this regen rune. He bottles it up too, and has another Astral Step to leave if he needs to.
That was really well played by General, actually. If he gets the regen rune there on Jibe, like, his game's so much easier. Because he's now out of bottle charges, right? So he can't really make another play or anything. Yeah, trying desperately to this mid tier 1 again here on 5 men.
Ooh, but Pyjamas die, he might be in trouble. They do have an Aether Remnant in 3 seconds.
Did you see that? He popped a branch down in the middle of the Sprout to pop himself out. That was sick. Yo, Pyjamas. I like how they all tipped him as well, because they're all like, wow, that was actually really
awesome.
cool.
I kind of gave it the okay, but I was like, oh, okay.
Dude, they were way more impressed than you. I like how you were like, yeah, I could do that all the time.
No. It was more my brain, you know, having to figure out. Okay.
Oh, right, okay.
I was a little slow on the draw on that one. I'm not gonna lie. I was just like, oh.
B-Cop was like, oh, it's just a glitch. He just ended up on the other side of the trees.
I blinked, missed it.
To their middle tower. Instructions are full.
I like how they're giving Rod some solo XP up here as well at the moment. General's just moving around, trying to make things happen on the map. With his level 6, he wants to defend this tower as much as he can. It is going to fall eventually, but they've kept this tower up, you know, a lot longer than they 5 men would have hoped for.
End up getting that mid-tier 1. Meanwhile, Pyjamas die. Continuing to get swords, make some space. Invis over bottom, which will be picked up by Misery. Misery's only level 4. The experience difference right now is 1,500 in the favor of FlyToMoon.
I assume he's getting the tome though, so he should be able to get his level 6 relatively soon. But even though, like, he gets his level 6, I think you really need more points in Sunray this game. Like, up against the Morphling, especially when he's strength Morphling, the Sunray does so much damage. It's percentage based. He is going Orchid on the Prophet, by the way. He has his first Oblivion Staff coming out on the Courier.
How's Ace doing? I think he just bought this Midas. There it is.
I mean, his farm speed's going to be much higher now, right? So,
And he's not too far behind.
He's pretty happy with how this game's going.
I didn't know.
In like in his sense, right? He gets an Iron Talon as well, so he gets double Iron Talon now. One for each him and his double.
Shackle lands.
Top mid.
They're right on to this Mars.
Oh.
Jibe still ends up dead. Astral Step right up on him.
Even a god.
Feaching trying his hardest there to just spear the Mars away. They do salvage the kill in the end. Lane as well.
And they come over. They're going to look for always on a fly. This should be an easy kill. They've got 3 heroes plus a Hellbear. Guys?
I mean, that's not the kill they wanted, though. They wanted the Iceberg Nature's Prophet there.
Yeah, I know, but all of a sudden they just all left him, and it was just like, is anybody going to go for the last hit? Roger comes over, looks over at Pilot dies. Shackle doesn't land on anything. Power shot misses as well. General moves forward, and Iceberg, he is not too far off of this Orchid, just a couple hundred gold.
I love to see this max Vengeance Aura on the Venge as well. I think when you have these range heroes in your team that make use of the attack range, maxing out that skill is really strong. Like, because they all get 13 bonus attributes as well, right? So Morph gets an extra 13 agi. That's, yeah, it's like 13 damage for everybody, which in these early engagements can really help.
And shield for Ace. This off cooldown in just a couple seconds.
So also worth mentioning as well, the puck isn't go for yours first, so he's going to be really susceptible to dying to this Orchid on the Nature's Prophet. So he's going to have to be careful. He wants this blink first, which I get, but he's very squishy.
I guess the question becomes, you know, does he commit to it? Maybe he gets jumped that first time by the Orchid and then swaps over based on timings. Because now you see that Orchid, maybe he makes the switch afterwards. He's still going to die here, so Chessie ends up falling. Icarus dive away from Misery. That's not going to keep him up. They land this, and nice Aether Remnant from General. Pilot Eye comes over, dissimulate, back. So won't make the jump. So does Chessie move to the mules after that? Yeah. At least not right now. Now you were talking about Iceberg maybe potentially wanting to go into the right click more. Do you think he goes with this Blightstone into Deso?
I think he has to go BKB next on the Nature's Prophet. I don't think there's much choice there, honestly. It's like we said, if you look at Dice, they don't have a huge amount of physical damage.
Over bottom, they've got the Aether Remnant. It looked like Paladin and Chessie were potentially going for something. General kind of up on these trees. And Paladin passes right by him and realizes
Ace, you have a Javelin. Yeah, they need the puck blink to make play so right on Fireman. That's what they're lacking at the moment. They lack the raw initiation, and you see the Mars and the puck are both going for their blinks. Until they come out, it's going to be really difficult to try and find things on the map because they don't have the instant initiation unless they can get into position on the heroes. Yeah, like maybe you can catch them with a coil, but you have to just like walk in on the puck. It's not really gonna work.
Yeah, commits to that Blink Dagger. Well, hasn't committed just yet. He hasn't finished it, but he's still putting it at least on the puck in his buy queue.
Yeah, I think that's fine though. Like obviously you have to worry about the Orchid, but at the same time, you know, the puck allows you to make the aggressive plays on the map.
This Orchid comes in. He's there with General. They get the kill on Misery. You have the Orchid, you can't Icarus dive away. Aether Remnant comes through to have that extra control, and all of a sudden it's just such a difficult game for a couple of these heroes on 5 men, especially with the way that they've just been coming together, General and Iceberg. And there's that blink.
Here's the blink. Yeah. I'd be surprised if they didn't look to try and smoke up here with the puck +1. I think it has to be the Phoenix probably with the Mars as well. And they do have one on Pilot Die, but just like this blink has to be a big kill. If you kill like the Venge with the first blink usage, it's going to be so underwhelming.
So it has to be something big, and the question becomes, you know, who are you setting up with? How are you setting up with? And there's the Venge already. He's got the Blink Dagger. Iceberg TP's in. So it's an escape in a way for Chessie, and he's going to the Yules next. So like, maybe he looks to slow instead and just go for the Yules and hope he doesn't, you know, does he have that ability to just slow down the game? Like, can you just do that with the Blink Dagger, or do you have to play hyper aggressive now?
I think you can split push if you want, but yeah, I think you have to play aggressive and make moves on the map, which they are.
Well, silence and the kill out on a general. Wrath of Nature comes in.
Retract your last move.
Good kill there, so that's exactly what they wanted. Chessie gets credit for that kill too, so that'll push him closer to the duels. Bottom. Right click. Yep, there it is. Right on to Pile Die. Always want to fly get the kill there. They get the Enchantress. Enchantress has died, 3 times, but just the Ench, I guess.
It's Pile Die.
Meteor Hammer for Misery. He's going to be farming up a little bit quicker. He's going to be more helpful with this push.
I think they feel confident in just keeping the game going and like just extending the game, right? They don't feel like they have to make things happen right now. This arc's just farming the jungle, which I kind of agree with. At the same time,
Misery did. Iceberg gets the kill there. They'll trade Roger though.
I think you're probably happier if you're Iceberg there. I think the win range is so far away from having anything, but this Phoenix is like, I think it's really important for 5-man drafts just in general. Iceberg.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They didn't find anything.
Has been denied.
General's not very farmed this game, is he? He's
No, he's definitely not as farmed as we saw him before.
kind of just on wave clear duty, it feels like. I just see this this Radiant Draft, when they hit their big items, like the Morphling has Manta now. When he gets E-Blade, they're just going to go. I think like Iso's going to carry on making plays throughout the game anyway. Like he has his BKB soon, so he's really strong. But maybe they feel like they can make things happen with just the Manta on the Morphling, and when the Nature's Prophet gets BKB. I'm interested to see when they feel like they really want to start hunting down this arc. Do they feel like they can take Roche potentially as well?
Waning Rip.
Grove Word, really nice.
Yeah, for the Arc Warden. Again, he's keeping up with the Morphling as well as the Nature's Prophet, but once again, are we seeing that too much is needed for Ace to succeed here? Arena, misses the spear. We'll see if that matters. Iceberg TPing out just barely. Now they look for Roger. They have that kill at least. Wrath of Nature gets thrown out.
You're gonna find Shibe. No, can't get the swap. Level 1 range on swap is awful, actually.
Yeah,
I always forget this.
So difficult.
Top lane, they get the coil. No BKB for 200 gold.
This is a problem. He looks like he might die, but they've got the silence. Iceberg in trouble. He'll end up falling and into the supernova to survive. Now they find themselves general. Spear connects just on the end. Illusory Orb right on top of general. Uses that to simulate, goes into the trees, pop that one to survive a little bit longer. And now he's got that Yules out on a Chessie over within the trees. He has the spear and he just can't escape.
Yeah, really well played by 5 men. They're coming back into this game really well at the moment.
Yeah. Shibi, spear doesn't land. YouTube coming in on this.
Wait up.
Oh, that's one thing we haven't talked about. The Manta illusions from the Morph can just get enchanted by the Ench, and he can just use them to split push lanes. I feel like Pyjamas are in a bit of trouble here, though. Shibi's heading top, but yeah, he has some mastery.
And adaptive strike.
But again, it is just the Ench. Like, this arc's still just free farming the jungle. Nobody's touching him. So,
Phoenix
gonna feel pretty.
getting caught by Iceberg and always want to fly.
Did he?
Shibi? He's coming over and Chessie's here. They've got Dream Coil.
Yes. Doesn't have BKB still.
Man, he still doesn't have this BKB. But Aether Remnant locks up the puck. They have the control. Can they get the kill? They've got the Yules. Now will he go for Iceberg or will he just try to leave? Phase shift used and he just can't escape.
It didn't have the blink quite up yet, unfortunately. So he's gonna fall. Nice kills though by FlyToMoon. They're probably going to look at trying to walk into that Roche pit relatively soon. Take the Aegis for themselves.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Because now that they have the BKB on the Prophet, they are really strong. It took him a little while over the last few minutes, but he does finally get there.
Dire's bottom
And now, Morphe's getting really close to this E-Blade as well. He's only a couple of thousand, well, he's only 1,500 gold away, actually, so. It worries me that we haven't really seen like a Mars Phoenix, like Arena Egg combo together yet.
No,
right?
not at all. Not yet. Yules comes in. They've got the silence out of power. Died to look over as the Tempest double comes in, but it's shackled up to the Enchantress. Well done there by Roger. Sunray right on top of General. He won't make it out. Now the Illusion are forward looking for V-Tune. Dream Coil. On the more. Got the Spear to follow it up. There's the Supernova. Shiba, he does have the Arena. Supernova pops, that locks up Always Wanna Fly. They still don't get this kill on a V-Tune. So Always Wanna Fly will be the sacrificial lamb on this, or will he? He continues to swap and be a nuisance. They have the Waning Rift. Here comes Iceberg. Doesn't find himself this puck just yet. But they do have the silence. They do have the right click damage from V-Tune to get the kill on the chest. He's going to turn this around. The BKB's been popped by Iceberg. They got themselves the Arena. There's the Spear. That locks up Roger for a second, and they end up getting the kill. They do overwhelm FlyToMoon, and 5 men do a good job in this fight. They can't kill the Morphling, but they still take out 3.
Yeah, and that's a 10-second BKB on the Prophet. It just achieves nothing. Oh yeah, like they get the puck kill, but that's not what they wanted. And this Arc Warden still just free farming away. Absolutely fine. He has the bots on top of the Violna now with the Midas, so it'd be interesting to see what he goes for next. Does he feel like he needs a BKB of his own? Or does he want to just go for like more damage with an MKB or something?
Eager to know Dire's whereabouts.
Ace now top of the net worth. He had been fighting close to it, but now he's here.
Interesting that he's not using his Tempest double yet, though.
V-Tune looking for the E-Blade, of course, and he's close to it. It's E-Blade, Scotty, then do you think Ags comes in to use that Windrunner combo?
No, I don't think so. I think he needs to go for something that allows him to like be a little bit more tanky, just stay in the fight. Yeah, he has Scotty queued up, which I think is fine. He might potentially think about going BKB as well. But the puck's going to get agged at some point, and then the BKB from the Morph is kind of a little bit underwhelming. I think you just need to tank up and accept that you're probably going to get coiled. Because they have no save like they did last game with the Oracle. So.
Yeah. True. Spear comes in and just destroying Iceberg.
Yeah, I feel like that's so sloppy from Iceberg though, because there's just an like mud golem just attacking him, and he's like just standing there hitting it. So they know where an Iceberg is, and they have him under a ward anyway.
Spell him for this puck. Meanwhile, take a look at General. He's really kind of not gaining that much farm. He's 2,000 gold behind this puck of Chessie, who kind of had a struggling early game. He's done well to bring it back. And now, I would say at this point, maybe earlier, it felt like the game was more so on Ace, but it definitely feels like the rest of the team is kind of holding still with him.
Yeah, they have the Morph E-Blade, so they really want to...
Come on, sprites.
So now immediately goes into the Nidra's attendants. Focus fire, breaking the smoke on everybody. So they'll have the control, they'll get this kill.
Yeah, great play by Pyjamas. That's exactly the hero you want to be dying there to the smoke rotation. So they're going to be absolutely fine with that on 5 men.
Is there a point where maybe Arena gets used by the Mars? They've got the Sunray out in a General. With the Steer landing, I had some pretty killy once again.
He has so much raw damage output on the Mars with the Death Zone. They tried to get the Phoenix there with the swap. Oh, he's still going to get him? They have the E-Blade combo here.
Oh, it was Supernova, okay. Yeah.
Well, I feel like
they still want to go?
I feel like you just accept your death there. Yeah,
they still have another
trying to
swap.
go for more. Should be able to just walk away. He always has MKB on the Wind Ranger, by the way. He's about 50 gold away. So,
wow.
This MKB going to do a huge amount of damage. The magnetic field not going to save you against IM.
Both floors are pretty farmed.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh, Misery's gone for the Yule's hammer. Right, okay. With the dive combo. Fair enough.
MKB finished off for the
Tower is under
win run. Double damage. No, ace. Sorry. For general.
Structures are fortified.
Get my colors mixed up.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Going to Axe for the Void Spirit. I like that. You know, obviously it's a pretty staple item for the Void Spirit, but in this game it feels pretty nice.
Yeah, it's a really good Axe game. But when is it a bad Axe game, right?
Yeah.
I was having this conversation with my friend the other day. He was like, should I build Axe on Void Spirit this game? I was like, probably. Because, you know, it's always going to be good, right? So, yeah, when he gets that online, again, heroes like the Arc One and stuff, if they don't have BKB, have to be a little bit wary, especially because of this MKB on the Wind Ranger. I think Roger is going to be on Arc Warden duty this game, like with this MKB that he now has. And the Arc Warden did actually go for an MKB of his own as well. So he has such a high amount of damage output now.
I think
If he swaps his MKB in.
massive though.
Dire are scanning for
If he swaps his MKB in. Ace. Ace.
Just swap MKB in. There it is.
There you go, he's done it.
Uh-oh.
They almost ran into him there. That would have been a massive disaster for Ace.
They're going to
going Roach. Oh.
This is really good for 5 men.
Yeah, and he with the
They're
field,
gonna
they're
get
going to
it.
take
Oh,
this so quickly.
No chance that they stop this.
And this is why you go for the MKB as well. Because you see how quickly that Roach dies. It's just insane. I'd like to see him go back for the BKB now, though, as well.
Paladin sword. Okay, V-Tune just farming up 300 gold casually.
top tower is under attack.
Does he keep the Paladin swords and keep growth, though? I don't actually know. I'm horrendous at this hero.
Which arc?
Yeah. I have no idea what I'm doing. Telescope
think I've
really
played that
nice.
hero before. Gave up on it when it was announced.
Oh, he got the quickening charm, though, which is really nice.
Shackle lands. Roger, though, in an interesting spot, avoids the spear. You got the arena down. Roger taking a lot of damage, and he is massively killed.
There is an MTV on the nature's pocket now, though.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, he needs it to help with their magnetic field, though. But I mean,
always on a
the
fly?
problem is that you. Oh.
For a second, he was in trouble. They're going to go for the tier 3 tower. Like, somebody wants to get here to try and defend this. Shibby just blinks in, gets the spear onto the tier 3 tower, and they get the kill, but they end up losing power to die to V-Tune. V-Tune turns it into the Arc Warden. So he'll start placing down some Spark Wraiths.
He did get the tier 2 bot as well on the Morphling, so at least they're getting something out of this. It just feels like they're really lacking like damage at the moment on the Radiant side. They were going to be really strong with this Nature's Prophet BKB, and then he died like twice in a row before he finished it. So their whole timing for the game got offset a little bit, and now this Arc Warden just got so much time to farm, and he's absolutely huge. He's actually going Lincolns instead of BKB, which I don't mind when you're playing up against this Wind Ranger. Yeah, you're playing up against Swap and things. There's Orchid as well on the Nature's Prophet, so there's like E-Blade on the Morph.
Oh, they found the real ace. He's in some trouble. Iceberg has the MKB, but he's having the damage output and the health. They take out the Aegis. Iceberg on the run now. Wow. That's a quick way to take the Aegis.
Yeah, that's really well played though by FlyToMoon. Now they can't use the Aegis to take towers and things, right? And try and siege at all.
Yeah.
It's back to what we were before. But Arc Warden is still the strongest hero on the map. You know, we have to point that out here. Even without the Aegis. Like his damage output's crazy.
Under attack.
And they can't really deal with the split push at the moment on the Radiant side. They want to make things happen, but the Arc Warden Tempest Double is just constantly shoving in lanes. And yes, they have the Nature's Prophet and things and whatever, but...
Where's Ace experience was? What's the split on the experience? Actually, way in favor of 5 men. Oh my god.
Yes.
About 8,000 experience ahead.
But it's all in the cores, the XP difference, like the mid lanes especially. On the force.
Bottom, Roger goes down, but they take out Ace. That's a big kill for Iceberg. and they're gonna come over. Even if he trades his life, he feels okay with that. But Morphling comes in, they're just gonna go for this egg. They've drunk on the Dream Core. It's not gonna matter with the BKB still going for this Nature's Prophet. Down goes Misery, and now they'll look for more. Spear hits onto the Morphling, who's morphed into the Mars. They get the kill on Iceberg. They look over for Jibe, who's back in a form, or back in a visibility, I should say.
I mean, that fight's a disaster for 5-man as soon as the arc does. That's the first time he's died in absolutely ages. They're going to catch the fight as
Chessie,
well.
they've got the spear, phase shift. Not looking likely, but blink away, illusory orb over. I say not looking likely. All of a sudden,
They've got swap.
how far is the swap? He's just not far enough. This swap is just... Oy.
General wants it really badly, and
Roger's
coming over
going.
as well.
Is under attack.
Shackle avoided, phase shift, focus fire, and still gets the kill there on a Chessie. Roger chases him down, and that's a very good fight for FlyToMoon.
Yeah, and they take the gold lead for the first time in this game in what feels like forever. Like at least 15 minutes.
Dive's top tower is under attack.
All about finding the Arc Warden in the backline, and this is why this Nature's Prophet pick was so good. Doesn't matter where he is on the map, you can always find him. I will say as well, though, this this Nature's Prophet versus Arc Warden is very much like Battle of the Glass Cannons, right? They're going to do the same again, top. Ace.
Oh no, Ace getting caught once again. They've got themselves the Aether in as well as the silence from this Orchid. Sunray's not going to be enough. Roger tipped. Now they pop the BKB on Iceberg. They're going to continue to go for this. BKB's been popped by Jibe. Misery, though, still in trouble. Past Supernova in just a second. Won't use it, but there's the swap. Now he uses it. Wait for him over. Arena's not going to help. And God's Rebuke, but it's not enough to save Misery. Now Jibe needs to run. All of a sudden, this is really going well for FlyToMoon. They're driving your team power, going for it. They've got the Dream Core that hits on both General as well as V-Tune. V-Tune snaps it. Pilot Die goes down to Roger, who's just able to walk away, especially go down on the low ground with the spider legs.
And they're going to have to fight back on the Phoenix as well. Well, they just turn up the, like, it feels like they've just flicked an on switch, right? On FlyToMoon. They've gone from being, like, really passive for so much this game that I don't think they just go for it. And there's an Axe coming out on the Void Spirit now as well, and they're just going to start hitting the tier 3s because they know that the Arc Warden's playing the game. So, you get the glyph.
Axe finished off for General. Gonna go for the tier 3 tower. They're gonna Astral step in and get the silence out on the Misery. They focus onto the melee racks. I think luckily for the side of FlyToMoon, there's still a tier 2 over mid. But if they try to fight this could be very bad. General. Okay, Meteor Hammer. This should get the kill. I don't even need it. Now they're gonna
Coil as well.
Pop by Iceberg. They have that Axe though on the puck, so Iceberg he could have just left, but chose to stay nearby and he ends up dead. I think earlier though, before that entire thing happened, he kind of stayed with General.
Yeah. He thought about potentially trying to save him, but again, like you say, couldn't really find the opening.
And then that ends up causing him to die.
But I will say that them getting that melee rack is so important. Like, whenever you're playing against Arc Warden and you have an opportunity to get racks like that, it's so good. Because it's so hard to push buildings against that hero. Always on the fly is going to die top, but it's whatever, really. No, don't let the clone die. I didn't know you could do that. That's really interesting. I didn't know you could take over the Bench Death Illusion with Enchant. Oh my god.
Download, try to get the tier 2 tower and turn this back the other way.
They are up in 20-25 seconds though, so only really going to be able to get the tier 2 here. I think the next Roach is going to be the next 55 minimum respawn time up in 15 seconds. So got to be a little bit patient here for 5 men.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Bottom with this Tempest double. Take a look at where Iceberg's farming.
The seeds of force.
He wants to go in onto this AC.
Win
Not
rate.
terribly far away from it.
He has Scardy on Morphling, so they really need this to win range of BKB. It's like, yeah, it's coming out on the courier now. Okay. So he's a lot more difficult to kill now because you can't just arena him or something and he's dead, right?
Radiant's bottom tower is under
I think the scan hit for a second, so Radiant should know that the Dire or Firemen are kind of near the Roche pit area.
But you can see they want to make plays on the map, but now the Tempest Double's pushing bomb as well. Like, you have to deal with your waves first. And Vichu's going to go and try and kill the clone here. Still up for 10 seconds.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Tower shot and 300 gold. Yep.
Thank you very much.
How many times has he gotten 300 gold?
Iceberg.
Dream Coil comes in. BKB's been popping. He's taking a lot of damage. The Guards Rebuke comes through. He hasn't snapped the Dream Coil just yet. Gets the Orchid out onto JB. Pops the BKB. Now throws a spear over to the Morphling. Always want to fly with the swap. Will get into the JB. Now they've got the arena down. And Misery coming over in with the Sunray, but they have the damage to get the kill on the Chibi as well as Power. They end up losing. Always want to fly. Meteor Hammer with the Yules. Is it going to land? Vichu uses the waveform. Goes out onto Misery, who does not use that supernova. Damage, though, from the Tempest Double. Pops the Satanic. They've got the Orchid out onto the Tempest Double. 300 gold for General. Waveform trying to cut the distance down, but won't be able to find Ace or Chessie. And
Roche
now maybe they go into
25
Roche if the timing's right. Double Astral Step, but doesn't cut that gap too much.
Yeah, they really want to wait for the Roche shit. They're just going to keep the trees in the pit, and it's going to be up in 10 seconds. So they should be able to get this up here. I think if Misery had died there on the Phoenix, it would have been awful, because remember, he bought back in the last fight. So it's really important that he got out safe.
Radiant's bottom tower.
But how much does it feel like last game? They're doing a bit better on 5 men. Or much better.
Yeah.
But the mid and the off lane are kind of falling off really hard this game, right? For 5 men. And it's kind of all in the Arc Warden basket at the moment. Whereas this Nature's Prophet is scaling really well right now. Look, he has the BKB, he has the MKB, he has the AC as well. So Iceberg really kind of turning into that semi-core.
They're over in time. Yeah, nowhere near.
Cheese as well. Yeah. Let's actually give the Aegis to the Prophet. And the cheese to the Morph. Okay.
I think that's fine. You've got the Satanic now as well as the cheese on the Morphling.
I didn't mind that. I think it's okay. It's just, it surprised me. I thought they would do it the other way around.
Looks like we're ready to go.
Yeah, General's picking out the Phoenix as well, and I agree with him. I think if the Phoenix dies at the start of the fight, like, that's best case scenario for FlyToMoon. I think he's the one that they should be trying to jump every single time, if not the Arc Warden, right? Because the Sunray does so much damage, and the Egg is so much like utility and team fight. So
An ephemeral masterpiece.
I don't think so.
5 men just talking at the moment.
Seeing how everybody's day is.
Okay, let's get some Twitch chat interaction, Peacock. Come on.
Ooh, okay. Twitch chat. Looking at you, talking to you. Press 1 if you think 5 men are gonna win. Press 2 if you think FlyToMoon are gonna win. Mo, any other options?
Press 3 if you're just full of positive energy and you just want a good game.
Ooh,
That's,
I like that. I'm gonna press 3 when the
yeah.
5 minutes comes. Whether we're casting or not, I'll press 3. G, go, ready? I don't know. Yeah, FlyToMoon are definitely ready. That's for sure.
They're like, hello, please. Here we go.
True heroes are the ones who wait all the way.
So like we were saying, Aegis now on Iceberg, she's on the Morphling to get themselves the Tempest Double. We got credit for that one.
I think it was some Morph. Not sure, but yeah, I think he needs MKB on this Morph for now. Oh, Spell Prism.
That's good.
That's like the best
yeah.
void for Iron. Oh, more?
Morph just out forward and beats the cheese. Survives for now. Pops the Manta, trying to survive. Wait for him down to the low ground. They've got the Sunray as well as the Igor Stop coming in from Misery. They look over and always want to fly. Aether Remnant try and save V-Tune. Now Roger uses those spider legs to get over the cliff and away. They've already used the Dream Coil. Jimmy comes in but won't find a spear. They're forced to lose their Venge because, honestly, V-Tune, I think, a little bit too far forward. Meanwhile, Iceberg pushing the top lane now.
Yeah, that could have been an absolute disaster if Morph dies there. You're going to be able to force his buyback and whatnot, so... really well played by FlyToMoon, but unlucky for, Fireground. They'll be cursing that they didn't quite kill him off there. Life steal talent now on the Arc Warden, though, going to help him massively.
25.
And I like that he's going for his Hurricane Pike.
So, what's his life steal right now?
You go there.
Sorry.
Oh, they got the rats. Oh, wait, what? Oh, top lane. They just got the range rats. Okay. Fair enough.
I was gonna ask what the lifesteal was now that he's got Satanic and the lifesteal talent.
Oh god, don't ask me that. I think it stacks multiplicatively, right? So it's
37.5.
25% nice, 25%, 75%. Oh god, there's a fight. Stop making me do math.
They've got themselves a Dream Coil on the back lines. Look over at Always Wanna Fly as well as V-Tune. Now Yule's in the air. Is his Phoenix Aether Remnant locks him up. They've got Santander a couple of losing Always Wanna Fly. They've got the Arc Warden in a little bit of trouble as well. They get the Cone Ace. Now they've used themselves the Supernova. Ooh, V-Tune getting low. He's already used the Satanic. He'll use that wave to try and get away. So Supernova goes off from Misery, but it's not going to be enough. Oh, 4-man silence coming in from General, and that's going to save V-Tune. He may not save his own life, but Iceberg comes in. He's got the Solar Crest on him from Pyjamas. They'll get the Aegis out of his hands. General now throws up. Spear misses, though. Oh, Jimmy misses the spear. They get the kill on a Chessie. He'll morph into the Mars, use the spear to get the kill on a Jimmy. Now they look over as both the Enchantress and the Phoenix get away, but you lose all 3 cores on the side of 5 men. A very good fight from FlyToMoon.
Yeah, they have. You see, if you look at the ward on the high ground where the fight was, they see everything on FlyToMoon. They know exactly where everyone is, so they instantly pick out the Arc at the start of the fight, and they're like, "Yes, we're going on him." And I love that both the carries, they basically just pop their Satanic at the same time, and they're like, "Let's see which one dies first." They just commit fully on each other. And yeah, Morph's gonna win that one, unfortunately. Or unfortunately for Fiber. And they're gonna force the Arc buyback. Yeah, this is.
Coil out on Iceberg. He's bottom by himself for the moment, but here comes General with the Astral Step as well as the Resonant Pulse that silences up everybody around this fight. They get the kill into Pilot. They look over at Misery. Misery no longer has that Supernova. General in to pick up the gem. They've lost Iceberg. He's dead for 93 seconds.
There's a big timing that FlyToMoon are going to hit soon with the Void Spirit level 25. And all you people in chat that have played Void Spirit before will understand how insane this hero feels when you hit 25. The Dissimulate 2.5 second stun is absolutely crazy. And because he has a Spell Prison, his Dissimulate's on an 8.8 second cooldown.
Jeez.
So you're about to see some really wacky things, I imagine, from General. And you see he's going Octarine as well, so the cooldown's going to be even lower soon. I honestly feel like you have to just wait for this guy's 25 now. It's so insane. There's an Abyssal on Morphin. Jesus. Okay. He didn't go MKB. He just really wants to just go in. Go fully in on the Arc Warden there.
General. He's got that Octarine, right? Yeah. So what does this put? This is Dissimulating now on a 6.6 second cooldown.
Oh my god.
With a 2.5 second stun at level 25.
Oh, that's insane.
Astral Step. I don't know what the charge cooldown is.
Oh,
Spell Prism now for 5 men.
Yeah, that's really good for like all the heroes. Actually, to be fair, are they
Probably
giving it to Puck or yeah? I mean, it's really good on Arc Warden as well, but he kind of wants the Paladin Sword because he has Satanic and things. So.
I mean, FlyToMoon would be happy for him to give out a Tempest double 300 gold every so often. I think he'd be very happy
true.
with that.
The General's so close to this 25. And there's a Satanic now on the Nature's Prophet. I love that pickup. Not only is the healing really good in the fight, but the status resistance against the coil was really important as well. Yeah, and they see the woman background here.
Scotty finished off for Ace. Stubble over bottom. Still with that Paladin sword. So Paladin's, oh yeah, we forgot about that too. Paladin sword, Satanic, and the lifesteal, 25%.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah, I'm not going to work out what it is. Don't ask me.
Oh my, that is a lot. It wasn't enough.
25 on general. Here we go. Get your RS frogs ready. I'm telling you, it's going to be insane.
Those frogs in the chat. Better be ready.
It's not quite as much as the Morph Shaker last game, but yeah.
Somebody said lifesteal adds additively.
As I go.
A lot of time here from FlyToMoon, but you know they might even be slow playing this just to look for the next Aegis.
Yeah, they could do. I mean, there's no reason for them to force a high ground fight that they don't need to take. Like, they're kind of just stuck in their base, right? On 5-man. They can use the Tempest Devil and whatever, and you see they're just shoving the lanes in constantly on FlyToMoon. They've got control of the whole map. They're happy with how things are going. They can get 4 bounty runes.
How much time? 39 seconds. At least. 39 seconds.
Question is, when do 5-men want to leave their base and actually try and do something? Because I actually don't know when that will be.
Now.
Okay, fair enough.
Nostradamus must. But Ryder's
He's
right
looking
here.
to break smokes.
Yeah, the way he's positioned. They know it's close to Roche as well. Try to get something done.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Flying
But I think you see, like,
bottom.
the Capots are going to take them in tier 3.
Dire's middle tower.
And when you let that push in, you just know they're smoked. Look at Roger's positioning. Just
He's
ready
level
to find
25.
somebody.
Oh my
Yeah, so
god.
he's got that win run. Ags next for the morph, right?
Sure. I would think so.
I feel like it's decent now. Good timing. Bloodthorn finished off the Nature's Prophet. He's also got a Satanic, so. Really, Iceberg? That was where you TP to? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Just 2 feet to his right.
Well, he might as well. Walk-ins for suckers, dude.
I don't know about that. Gotta get those steps in. My phone's always
Do
on.
people...
Get your 10,000 steps in. Go on.
That's true. But do people walk in America, by the way? Because I feel like from what...
All right. Shackle comes in onto the Mars. They've got the right click damage to get the kill on the Jibby. They take him out for 99 seconds. He does have buyback. Sunray onto the high ground as well as the after steps. They've got themselves the Yules out onto the puck as well as the 8th remnant. So that locks him down with the and just gets up to be able to use that to illusory orb away.
Oh, Iceberg?
Oh, Iceberg's right on him. Dream Coil used. Gets the silence. There's the Sprout. Yules used again. V2 over waveform in with the Abyssal. Oh my.
No buyback.
That is a jump, man. Yeah, no buyback.
that was
Get for
cute.
110 seconds.
That was so cute, actually. That little abyssal. Because you can cast spells in the waveform, obviously. So it's just instant. You know, if you don't instantly get that blink out of phase shift, then you gone. Axe on the Roche. Who do we give it to? B-Cop go.
Morphling.
Do they give it to Morphling or do they give it to the Wind Ranger? Because she's going Axe next.
But his will
Oh,
rise again.
here we go. Wind Ranger Morphling, guys. Zoom, zoom. Oh, you get the Arcana animation on the on the Morphling as well. Watch. Amazing. And they're going to want to try and go here before the puck is up.
Let's go bottom. Try to do tier 3 there. Iceberg over with General.
Can't defend both sets for Raxel on.
0.6 cooldown. Now that with the spear from the beat cave has been popped by Iceberg, right clicking away, trying to survive. Now the swap out from Always On Fly. That means Always On Fly might be dead here. However, he gets the Ghost Scepter off. They're going to look in, and he comes over. They've got themselves the Astro Step as well as the Resident Bolt. That's up almost everybody. They got the Shackles coming through for both the Morphing as well as the Windrunner. Now they get a ton of GP. They will go for the rest of the Supernova's down, but it's not going to be enough. They'll be able to take out the egg very easily. The right click's coming in for featuring. They get the kill on the GB Ace as well as Misery. They'll call GG. They'll get the 2-0. FlyToMoon move on to the next round, and they are one BO3 away after that team wipe from getting themselves into the main event.
Played by FlyToMoon. They look like they're playing with so much more confidence than 5 men. They look like they play the map so much more confidently, right? Just in general.